The price of perfection. And this costs a lot of money? Emily twirled a clear plastic bag in her hand. It had a light blue box and a small piece of paper in it. The bag was tiny. It was just a little bit smaller than Emily's palm. Jake took it from her. He pretended he wasn't going to give it back. "What? You need it for yourself?" Emily asked. "Are you crazy?" The girl laughed. Her voice sounded like a bell. "You want to be pretty too? Why do you need it? You're already my little cutie. Besides, this is a women's model. Each one is custom made. Give it back. You're a jerk, or I won't even try to take it." Jake started hopping around. He kept the baggie out of reach of Emily, who was stocky. So she changed her strategy. She threw herself at her fiancé's neck. She wrapped him in a passionate hug and teasingly brushed her lips against that sensitive spot near his temple. Jake immediately gave in to her. He returned her affection with a playful kiss and handed the baggie back to Emily. "We paid so much for this," she said. She spun the little box in her hand with awe. "And it's so small, so tiny. It's like real nanotechnology. And we still have to pay more. Annie, we still have to pay back the loan for 5 more years. I can't miss a single online order now." Emily said, "We'll pay it off. Maybe my dad will help. At least I'll be gorgeous soon." Jake's eyes glimmered with affection. "You're already the prettiest to me. Why you need a Lushie? I love you just the way you are. I'm used to your little nose, those dimples on your cheeks." Emily giggled and hugged him again. "You wouldn't understand. We women are mysterious creatures from Venus. You understand, right? We are the warm and beautiful planet. And you guys, you're from a cold, dry place. You are cold, gloomy Mars." Jake wanted to argue, but Emily interrupted. But Emily cut him off with a passionate kiss. They kissed fiercely. "I want to put it on already. Honey, I'm so done waiting after these 3 months," she whispered. Her eyes glowed with excitement. She was excited. Jake agreed. Yeah, I know. No stopping you. Go ahead. But I want to see the real you one last time." But Emily wasn't listening anymore. She carefully cut the plastic open with her manicure scissors. On the table sat a pink box. It had InfernoTech written on it and the world-famous logo. It had a smirking blue globe with sly eyes and red. It also had curved horns. Next to the paper slip was a note. Emily pulled out a small box. It was about 2 fingers wide and had something shapeless inside. Her face lit up with a thrilled grin. "This is it. The Lushie. The word just rolls off your tongue. Oh my God, finally. Now I can be..." She didn't finish. She was already prying the lid off with her nails. Jake grabbed the slip. They had read this manual online many times. Emily probably had it memorized. Still, he looked over the lines again. The text was in a strange pixel-style font. "Product ready for use. Avoid getting it wet or putting too much pressure on it before applying it to prevent damage. To remove, contact your local InfernoTech service center. Do not get this wet or put too much pressure on it. If you do, it might break." Then came the warning. "First few days, take it easy. You might feel euphoric and have trouble focusing. Don't drive." There were more details, but I didn't understand them. On the back, there were contact details for the regional Inferno Technologies branch. Below, in bold red letters, the company slogan, "We'll give this planet a damn beautiful life." Emily had the box open and looked at herself in the mirror. She looked plain, maybe even plain or homely. She had a round, flat nose. Her cheeks were rosy and speckled with freckles. Her eyebrows were thick, deep laugh lines, a small mouth with thin lips, a sharp chin. He was 30. Tiny wrinkles were already starting to form on his forehead. What does Jake see in her? She glanced at him. He was lost in thought, engrossed in something interesting. He was a tall, blonde. So Wayne, now he's handsome from Hunchback, flowed Scarrel, and wears the best dress, Jake. Good-looking man. He had a killer smile. He was all sporty and fit. But this happiness couldn't last forever. Some beautiful woman would catch his attention. Jake would leave Emily. The ball, once full of potential, now crumpled and empty. It unfolded into a rectangle. It was clear, vibrant. It was sparkling with rainbow lights, like scattered diamonds. "Well," Emily whispered. Her voice and hands shook. "All for you, babe." She pressed the Lushie to her face. It was love at first sight. Emily was riding the city bus. She was reading her favorite Stephen King novel. Jake got on the bus. He caught a glimpse of the girl by the window. He looked at her in surprise. Her lips were bitten in suspense, and he stopped for a second. Sure, she wasn't a stunner. She had a round face. She had thick eyebrows. She had a small mouth. She had wrinkles. But she had an inner glow. Jake wasn't a Greek god either. Looks weren't important to him. When he sat down next to the horror fan, fate had brought them together. She suddenly looked up from King with a charming smile and said, "I'm Emily. You like scary things too?" 5 minutes later, they were chatting like old friends. A week later, they had sex for the first time. 3 months after that, they rented an apartment together on Maple Street. The landlady, Mrs. Carter, she looked at their IDs suspiciously, seeing that they had different last names. But they promised to get married soon. This was love. Capital L. The real deal. Emily was head over heels. This was her first time. She believed with all her heart that she and Jake were perfect for each other. She had never had a lot of guys interested in her before. And then, suddenly it happened. There he was. He was her perfect guy. They loved each other very much. They were crazy about each other. They were completely themselves. Then Emily started noticing how her friends, people she knew, even random girls on Main Street, they stared at Jake with desire. Young women were on the prowl. This was the first time she had noticed this. She got scared. What if he realized one day that his Emily wasn't pretty enough? Wasn't exciting enough? It was all because of that unattractive, round face of his. Jake probably hadn't met a real beauty queen yet. If he did, she'd be toast. That's when she first thought about the Lushie. Nobody knew where or when it appeared. There were rumors online that it was secret military technology that had leaked into the beauty market, but no one believed that. Who cares who invented it anyway? You don't think about Carl Benz or his wife when you hop in a car. The Wright brothers are not thought of when people board a plane. Who invented mascara, bikinis, shaving cream, or jeans? Some genius's name is written somewhere on them, but users don't care. What matters is the results. The Lushie's results were shocking. At first, at least. It cost a fortune. It was only for high society women, daughters, wives. It was popular with the daughters, wives, and mistresses of tycoons and billionaires. But then the price of that baggie with the blue box inside started dropping. Slowly, it dropped steadily. It wasn't just that wearing it was trendy. It was a symbol of prestige. The Lushie became a symbol of taste and status. You could tell right away if someone was a Lushie. They also made a men's version. They had perfect looks. Cool. It was artificial. They were mesmerizingly beautiful. Emily kept making strong points. She was writing down loan payments on napkins. She was begging. She even threatened to leave once. Maybe that last one made a difference. But Jake gave in. He flashed his soft, he smiled shyly, and waved his hand. Forget it. It seems like it's meant to be. We're buying it, Emily squealed. Yes, 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 it's meant to be. She threw herself at him. She kissed him deeply. He was going to be hers. No other pretty woman with a perfect nose would ever steal their happiness. Why look for a prettier woman when a Lushie can make every woman prettier than anyone else? They applied for the loan. They also sent a request to the DMV about her upcoming appearance change. Everything went smoothly. The loan was called a consumer credit for the Lushie tech product. The loan was approved. It was approved with no problems. The DMV just asked her to bring updated photos later. The order took a month, but it arrived right on time. There were no problems. Everything was on time and there were no problems. A young delivery guy in an Inferno Technologies t-shirt dropped off the sleek package. It was shiny. The clear rectangle was eager to touch human skin. It looked like the facehugger from the movie Alien. The Lushie attached itself to Emily's face very quickly. It crawled on her face. It stretched. It wrapped itself around her head like a cap. It even flowed over her hair. It went down her short neck. It was under her robe. It covered her small body. Her chest was flat, her belly with its navel fold, her thick thighs, and sturdy. She had almost manly ankles. She gasped. Her mouth was wide open. It felt like the Lushie had sealed her in a clear case. She felt like she was in an airtight cocoon. But that was just the first panic. It was just her pure instincts kicking in. She could breathe fine. She realized after a few shaky breaths. The maker claimed that the Lushie's nanolayer didn't disrupt any bodily functions or hygiene. She had no reason to doubt Inferno Technologies. It had been years since it had been released worldwide, and it was clear that it was comfortable. It was easy. It was safe, too. It is invisible and weightless. It covered the whole body. You could forget it was there. But there was one problem. Only a company specialist could remove it. It cost the same as the Lushie itself. So far, so good. No one had backed out. It made people look very beautiful. It made any decent snapshot of a Lushie wearer look like a professional portrait. It tweaked everything. The lash length was especially notable. Brow thickness. It made any body look good. And it didn't matter if you had big or small breasts. Perfect legs. The goal is to have a balanced figure. The skin tone changed to the perfect shade. Pimples and moles disappeared. Her posture improved, taking on a regal quality. The nanotech in the Lushie was almost as smart as AI. Jake watched. He felt uneasy. As Emily caught her breath, she took a step back and accidentally knocked over a chair. She stared into the mirror. She touched her face, hair. She looked at her body under the robe. She stammered. She stared at herself. It's a miracle, she thought. She turned. Her jaw dropped in awe. She was a platinum blonde with long, wild hair that fell over her slender frame. Her elegant shoulders. Her red lips were pouty. She had a long, graceful neck. She has thin eyebrows. Her thick lashes frame her sea-green eyes. She doesn't have any wrinkles. She has pale skin that looks like it's from a noble family. A delicate, sensual nose. She is laughing. She glanced between Jake and the mirror. She shouted, "Jakey, Jakey, babe, it worked. Look at me, I'm a goddess." She quickly unbuttoned her robe. She let the robe fall to the floor. "Like it? Like it?" she asked, laughing. "I'm stunning. I'm unreal. I'm divine." Jake was speechless. His fiancée was perfect. She had perfect proportions, skin tone. She was full of life. Everything about her was perfect. Emily laughed for 5 minutes straight, until Jake, equally excited, kissed her. But she pushed him away. "Hey, hands off. I haven't even looked yet. Finally, I'm me, the real me." She felt euphoric all day. This was exactly what Inferno Technologies had warned her about. She touched herself, but not frantically, but gently. She was loving it. Her laughter softened into a smile she wore for everything. She even smiled at Jake. He couldn't believe that this beautiful young woman was his Emily. But even he started feeling like she'd always had that softness. Her sultry voice. Her blonde hair fell in a cute way. Her irresistible face. Her legs were amazing. She had an attractive body that immediately attracted the attention of men. She's like a modern-day Cinderella turned beauty queen. No, she's royal. Still, Jake couldn't figure out how to get close to her. She seemed a little distant. He felt distant. He felt hard. No, it wasn't there. But before, it was there. Emily held on to him tightly. She listened closely to his every word. She was worried about saying the wrong thing. She looked at him with adoration. Now that connection was gone. But Lushie snapped it. She was self-sufficient. She was happy. She had finally found what she had been looking for. That night, however, a small problem arose. It wasn't a big deal, but it should have made Jake cautious. But it didn't. At first, he didn't seem to notice. Too bad. He walked into the kitchen and found her by the window. She was twirling a small mirror. He tried to peek at her back. She saw him. She jumped up and chirped. "And my weight matches my height perfectly. See? I'm taller than you now. I'm slim. I'm in perfect shape. Not like Madame Toad." Jake blinked, confused. "Who's Toad?" She scoffed. She looked at him with disdain. Who? Your fiancé, that's who." She called her a stinky cow. "But now I smell like this. Sniff me. Come on, sniff." "I like the old you better," Jake said innocently. Then he stopped talking. Emily. She was facing away. She turned slowly. Her lips pressed together in disdain. Her nose wrinkled in disgust. "So you're into weirdos? You're a creep, right? That hag is better than me? Fine, go away. I won't stop you. She's gone. She's gone. Kaput. She's gone forever." Her words showed pride and self-love. Jake stared silently for a few seconds. Then he left. She came to him half an hour later. She sat on his chair and pretended to look at her phone. "Jake, sorry, is everything okay? I understand. It hurts me too. Don't you feel happy for me? Are you still hung up on your little Emmy? You've got a new woman now. Damn it." It wasn't an apology. It was more like a fresh start. It was just a bunch of unnecessary insults. But Jake didn't want to fight. He sighed heavily. He embraced her. This showed that he wasn't upset. She pressed into him at first. Then she pulled back. "Be careful. Don't hurt me." By morning, Jake forgot about the argument. But the next day, something else strange happened. Jake had a meeting. Now that Emily was gorgeous, she refused to wear trash. She said that her exact words were, "I refuse to wear trash." She looked through her closet and made a face. "I need decent clothes," she declared. There was no question about it. You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. "We're going to the mall." I want to go shopping. It was pointless to argue. ... Jake gave in. They went to the Westfield Galleria. He sat on a bench outside another store as Emily went in. She was staring at the floor. Jake didn't even recognize him at first. He looked happy. Tony, with his rosy cheeks and slim figure, looked different. His face looked dark. He looked unhappy. He looked grumpy. He looked tired. He saw his college buddy. Tony's mood lifted for a moment. He even smiled. But then he looked upset again. "What are you doing here?" Jake asked. "I'm waiting for my girlfriend. I came to buy lingerie," Tony said, nodding at the big bags next to him. "I just went to the shoe store. Now we're going to the jeans store. There she is." He pointed towards the boutique's glass wall. A dozen women were milling around there. Each woman was beautiful in her own way, but it seemed impossible to tell them apart. They looked comfortable and at home. It was as if they were fish in water or frogs in a swamp, Jake thought. "Don't bother looking," Tony said, following his gaze. "I can't even tell them apart. Whichever one approaches me, I'll know it's my wife. If she messes up, it's her problem. Maybe that'll be the end of it." Jake frowned. "And what? What are you talking about?" Tony tensed up. "Wait a second. You? Why are you sitting here?" Jake laughed a little. "Same as you. Waiting. My Emily's in there too." Tony's eyes opened wide. "Yours? She has a Lushie too?" Jake felt a chill. His friend looked scared. Jake was scared. Damn it. How could I not see it? It all adds up. I'm such a fool. I'm a total idiot. Why did I not see it? Jake asked. I'm so lost. With what? But Tony wasn't listening. He grabbed his head. He squeezed it. He rocked slightly. He muttered something pitiful. At that moment, one of the women walked out of the store. She gave a fake smile as she walked towards them. He saw his wife coming. He pulled him close and whispered in his ear, "Run! Run, got it? Right now, while it's distracted. Maybe you'll make it. I don't know who that is." He nodded at the woman closing in. "Where'd I put my Val? It's always changing. Have you seen it yet? Have you seen your girl's eyes? Without that damn Lushie. Those eyes, man, for sure." Jake tried to calm him, rattled. "But that's your wife. Dude, what's wrong with you?" Tony looked directly at him. "You don't understand," he said. His smile felt empty and cold. "There's no wife anymore. Understand? No Val. No Val. No Emily. Just it. Everywhere." She chirped from behind. "Oh, hi. Time to go, sweetie." For a moment, she paused. Her voice sounded half-deaf. Her voice sounded rougher. She grabbed Tony's arm. He stood obediently. She grabbed the bags and they walked off. Tony didn't look back or say goodbye. 2 days passed without incident. Jake worked on projects for his clients. He was glued to his laptop. He didn't have time to rest. He crashed hard each night, but on the third night, he suddenly woke up. Asleep. He had had a vivid dream, but something annoying had interrupted it. He could hear quiet thuds in his ears. These sounds were disrupting the harmony of his dream. The steady thumps mixed with a faint sound, a quiet voice. Jake opened his eyes. He stretched. He reached for Emily's spot beside him, but it was empty. The sounds didn't stop. They grew louder. He sat up, nervous. He looked around, searching for his slippers. He saw that the dim light was flickering somewhere in the room. He saw a shapeless figure swaying there. It was moving to the same rhythm as the noises. "Em?" Jake whispered. The figure seemed scared. The figure suddenly stopped moving. Then the thuds got faster. He stood up. He tried to be quiet and crept toward it. The closer he got, the bangs got louder. Her forehead hit the wall. He was moving faster, harder. "Em! Em!" Jake felt more and more worried. She didn't answer. He stopped whispering. She was speaking clearly. She was speaking nonsense. She was speaking words that didn't make sense. When he got close and touched her shoulder, she hesitated. Emily turned around quickly. Her face was covered in blood, and she had cuts on her forehead. She let out a loud, screaming noise. Her face was a bloody mess. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Her mouth was wide open. Her teeth were sparse. She had jagged teeth. Her eyes were bloodshot. Her bulging eyes glared with unbearable hate. Jake gasped and stepped back. At that moment, he noticed that her body had also changed. Rolls of flesh. Her belly was hanging down to her knees. She had huge thighs, skin flapping in patches. The thing shoved Jake with both hands. It was like 2 hammer blows at once. He flew back a yard. He crashed to the floor. He tried to catch his breath. He felt pain in his chest. It cackled, a shrill laugh, and slammed its blonde head into the wall like a jackhammer. Jake ran quickly to the hallway. His mind raced. Should he call Inferno Technologies? Do they work nights? Not 911. Maybe 911? What did he say? She's lost it? If so, she might be sent to the psychiatric ward. But who or what? Was it back there? He looked into the bedroom. The light from the open door hit the bed. Emily was lying on the bed. She was facing the wall. She looked normal. She had a curvy figure. She was calm and relaxed. She was snoring softly. Jake unfolded the old couch. He rolled up his fall jacket to use as a pillow and lay down in the dark, thinking, what was that? Who? Tony stuck in his head. He was always smiling. He was always upbeat. The college party king. Now he was a ghost. He was whispering, "There's no wife, run." Where'd Emily's beauty go? That Lushie had turned her into an old hag. Why? What is the twisted beauty standard? Or did it just break? Everything breaks eventually. It all started with the Lushie. What's wrong with it? Tony said. There's no wife. Those words made sense now. Vague. He felt a sense of dread. Who's under that tiny shell? What if no one's left? Is it just an empty shell? Jake fell asleep around sunrise. He had bad dreams. He woke up with a headache. He felt sick to his stomach. He walked unsteadily to the bathroom. He spat out a mouthful of blood. He spat out blood. Emily was in the kitchen. She was flipping pancakes as if nothing had happened. She was humming softly. Was she pretending not to remember last night? Or maybe she didn't. Then she's a victim too. Morning, babe. Her pretty face greeted him with a wide smile. She smiled at him. He didn't say anything. He stared at her forehead. Last night, it was a bloody pulp. Now, her skin was perfect. There are no marks on her skin. There are no lines. He asked slowly. He looked at the pancakes. How did you sleep? That Lushie doesn't pinch anywhere? Did you have any strange dreams, like you're wandering? Did you do anything strange? She laughed, and for a second, he saw his old Emily. She was giggly, sweet. He was smitten. What's that nonsense? I slept like a dream. I feel light. I'm glowing. The Lushie didn't just fix up that old scarecrow of yours. She moved to the windowsill. She took out a pack of cigarettes and a lighter from her pink robe pocket. Her pink robe's short hem revealed her perfect legs. She lit the cigarette slowly. She exhaled deeply and watched the street. She took a puff of her cigarette every now and then. Jake gaped. You never smoked. You were happy I didn't either. She smiled easily. Oh, silly. Why deny myself the fun? But it's bad for you. Think about your health. Emily shot him a glare. Stop lecturing me. I'm tired of it. I live for myself now. I enjoy it. They sat quietly for a few minutes. Then she turned back to the pancakes. Eat up, sweetie. she chirped in her usual sugary tone. It was as if nothing had happened. "Last night, you were weird. You looked weird too, remember? Then you left me on the couch." "That's strange," Jake said. She shrugged. She didn't seem bothered. "I guess I'm too good for you. You're still obsessed with your boyfriend. You overreacted. Happiness is a big feeling too." Jake ate a few pancakes. He then kissed her, showing that he was grateful. She smiled back at him. He frowned. He tried to forget about last night and went to work. "It's fine. He's just freaking out over his nightmares. That's all," he told himself. By noon, he was working on an advertising project for an online client. He was focused on the task at hand. He was tired. He was nearing the end of his workday. He leaned back. He closed his eyes. He listened. He heard nothing from the bedroom where Emily should have been. That was strange. He quietly walked to the bedroom door. He opened the door and looked inside. She was sitting on the bed. She wasn't blinking. She was staring at the wall as if someone had just flipped her off. Jake felt his chest tighten. He felt a heavy sadness. Their happy life was over. Something awful had happened. It was irreversible. It was worse than anything he could have imagined. He was scared of his old love now. "Em, you all right?" She turned her head automatically. She lifted her perfect round eyes to him. Her eyes did not blink. "Emily, you're doing okay?" She replied. "Me? Yeah, you?" Her voice sounded flat. Her voice sounded lower than usual. "I'm worried about you," she said. "That's sweet. We love each other, right?" Her tone sounded so fake. Jake flinched. "I'm worried about you too." Jake left quietly. He went back to his laptop and sent a long email to Inferno Technologies' support team. He asked for a specialist, or at least a crisis hotline. They replied quickly. "Your account has been verified. What's the sudden fuss? We'll look into it. It won't take long." But they didn't send any more emails. Not that day, not for a long time. Emily sat in the bedroom until it got dark. Jake sometimes looked in on her. She didn't move at all. She just stared blankly, like a powerless robot or a forgotten doll. At 10, meanwhile, Jake was dozing on the couch. The bedroom door opened quietly. Emily came out. She was wearing flashy clothes. She was ready for a night out. She went to the hallway without saying anything. "Where are you going?" Jake jumped up. He chased her as she slipped into high heels. She looked bold. She looked flirty. "To enjoy life, duh," he asked. "What about me?" She smirked dismissively and slammed the door. She rolled in at dawn, straight to the bathroom. The water ran for a long time. She scrubbed her face vigorously. Then she quickly walked past Jake. She pretended to sleep and hid in the bedroom. The silence was total. There was a strange smell that lingered. It smelled like a swamp. Jake was tired and opened his eyes. Jake took a cold shower in the morning. He saw a small dried blood spot on the side of the bathtub. This was the start of their strange new life. Emily didn't care about her boyfriend anymore. She still liked to cook. They barely spoke. They only spoke when it was necessary. They didn't even have movie nights anymore. They didn't go to the theater or out to eat. No visits. She stopped reading. She was watching films. She was just scrolling through her phone. She even stopped listening to her favorite music by Carrie Underwood. Mornings, she was cooking bland food. The food was the same as always. She cooked fish, seafood, veggies. She also ate oatmeal. Then she'd sit on her bed all day. She had a puppet that was left out of its toy chest. This would happen every 2 or 3 days. She'd leave without saying a word. She'd return at dawn. She'd take long showers. One night, she left without saying a word. After she slammed the door, Jake looked out the window and saw half a dozen stunning women by their building. They were beautiful. They were all the same. They were wearing skimpy clothes. They looked like call girls. They met Emily. The group got into 2 Escalades and drove away into the night. The loud thumping against the wall and the strange chatter freaked him out. But he stayed on the couch. He wrapped himself in his blanket. He tried not to hear. The banging stopped eventually. The next morning, Emily greeted him with a smile. She was acting normally. She was cooking again. She bought her own groceries. She didn't ask Jake for help with chores or money. When it was time to pay the next loan, he didn't ask for help. He found that the loan had been paid a month ago. He also saw that there was a large sum of money in his account. This surprised him. He could stop freelancing now. He still hadn't received a reply from Inferno Technologies. What's left to hope for, he wondered. He was still naive. Taking out the trash one day, he slammed the chute lid and turned when a dark figure glided up from the stairwell. It was a burly 50-something guy. He was muscular. He was wearing black sunglasses like James Bond. He had a square jaw. He was wearing a t-shirt and sweatpants. "Jacob Andrew Miller?" he called softly. A badge flashed in his huge hand. Then he disappeared. "We need to talk. We can't talk here, not now. Here's my phone number. Call me when you're alone, when Emily's not around. Ideally, you'll be able to talk for a while. It's in your best interest. I understand your problem, and I think you're confused. Maybe we can help each other." Without waiting, he quickly put a card in Jake's pocket. It had just a number and "second" written below it. Then he quickly left. Jake thought it was a prank at first, but after thinking about the weird things that had happened to him since the Lushie, he didn't think it was a prank. He decided to call when he got the chance. The next day, that chance came. His friend left around 8 p.m. to enjoy himself. Jake dialed. 10 minutes later, Second tapped the door. It must have been close. He walked around the apartment quietly. He sniffed around. He grunted. Swamp. He sat across from Jake and quickly asked about changes in Emily's behavior. "Have there been any unusual things happen recently?" Jake got annoyed. "I'm not answering any questions until you tell me who you are." "What's going on? And how do you know about the strange things happening?" Second smirked. Indulgent. "Fair. Okay, I understand. I work for an international detective agency. The name and firm don't matter. Here's a quick summary so you understand how serious this is," he said in a dry tone. "No one knows where the Lushie came from. Nobody knows its origin. Inferno Technologies branches popped up worldwide. All of them were legitimate. Permits, licenses, everything was above board. But they're just hubs. They're just online wholesalers collecting orders and forwarding them to other contacts. In return, they get Lushies. They make custom products for each buyer. When bigwigs' kids and wives started acting weird around the world, our agency is the best. We work all over the world. We received calls to investigate. The probe found some strange things. Inferno Technologies' addresses on record, there was nothing there. There was nothing there. It was the same in Norway. Orders were sent to a post office in Jan Mayen village, which is located by a volcano. In North America, Trinity, Nebraska. It's in the middle of the desert. In Russia, Karai. It's a small fishing village on the Sea of Japan. There are no big factories anywhere near it. I checked dozens of these small towns myself, but Lushies kept shipping products to thousands of offices. The staff was paid well. It's made somewhere else, right? It's strange. And that's not all. Despite the ads and specs, No one understands how it works. Scientists say it's nonsense. Doctors break a dozen laws of physics and chemistry. Is it possible to grow taller without surgery or rehabilitation? It's impossible. Lushie does it in seconds. But wait, there's more to this. It changes how you think. Some people become hostile about others' flaws. People act crazy. They speak incoherently. It's just plain bizarre. As Lushie sales spiked, police worldwide logged weird incidents. There were random murders and mass disappearances. All of these people were down on their luck. Junkies. People thought it was strange. People without homes. People who have fallen through the cracks. Disabled. There are poor farmers. Demand for their products and services is increasing. Prices are dropping. Delivery times are now 2 or 3 weeks. If this advertising campaign continues, it will be even worse. In 2 or 3 years, it'll be like cell phones. They used to be rare. Now, cell phones are essential. Second stop stared at Jake and said, "You're one of the few people living with a Lushie user who would talk to us. Most people won't. Tell me straight, you're sure that's Emily under there?" Jake shot back. "Of course." Second nodded. "I thought so. Listen closely. We need to get you out. This is bad. We'll take you to our research center to talk. Don't worry. You might have some tests. We might use hypnosis. Whatever it takes. But we have to act quickly. Jake felt nervous. "Why the hurry?" Second frowned. "Your local Inferno Technologies got an order 3 weeks ago for another Lushie. It was in your name." Jake jumped up. "No, I didn't order it. No way." Second stood up too. "Get a grip," he said angrily. "That's why I'm here. I'm here to help. It's coming soon. If it's not here yet, it will be soon. We can't wait. You know what will happen if Emily gets it. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., be outside. It will be a white SUV. The car will have tinted windows. Be in the parking lot. Bring nothing. Don't give her any clues. Just leave. Get in the car. We'll handle everything else." Jake sank onto the couch, head down. "Don't be sad," Second said. "Just survive tonight. Got it?" Jake nodded, looking glum. "I'll see you later. Make an excuse and leave." He clapped Jake's shoulder and left without saying anything else. "Wow, I'm so glad this is over." Emily snuggled into Jake's embrace. He hugged her tightly. He pulled her close. "Remember how you fought it? So scared? My silly boy." Jake smiled. Yeah, it was a silly thing to do. He could still remember what happened that morning. He was staring out the kitchen window at a big white SUV with tinted glass rolling into the lot. Emily walked up to him. She points with a long finger. She's got her slim finger out. "Look at that beauty. We need one just like it." Jake, he's trying not to freak out, mumbles, I gotta be right back." He leaves the kitchen, but Emily calls softly. She smiles her usual charming smile. "No, you don't." He stops. She gently tugs his sleeve. She points to the refrigerator. "Open it." On the bottom shelf, Second's head. His eyes roll back, mouth twisted, blood pooled and dried. "Don't worry. He won't bother us anymore." Emily pressed her hot body against him. "No one will. Not us. Not the All-Seer. I love you too much to lose you. He loves harder. We're all his kids." She touched Jake's face with her blue finger. For a moment, they admired each other. At that moment, the sound of fire alarms filled the air. People screamed. Smoke rose from a burning world. Fire and smoke are signs of beauty. They are here to save this dying planet. People chant his name together. There is no need to open their mouths wide. Their mouths resemble frog-like. They hear each other. They hear the others. They don't need words. Jake stares at himself in the mirror. He's hooked on looking at himself. He looks amazing. Maybe the Lushie's right to hide this beauty. If humans saw this beauty, they would go blind. Not yet. But he has long blue hair. They're slick with slime. They're connected to her pink ones. Eyes creep out from a fleshy brain sac on stalks like a telescope. He is staring at his wife. Their bodies are perfect. He made them. The All-Seer. Glory to Lord, thank Surge. Now you're my real cutie, whispers the one who was Emily. A faint sound. A desperate scream echoed deep in her mind. It belonged to her, or someone else's.